Today I'm going to make a key for this beautiful antique lock. The house was built in 1906 and I'm pretty sure this lock is original with the house. I'm thinking this may be an ancient Corbin Russwin because this is the plate that wrapped around the lock body. I did do some research into the Corbin Russwin history. This is from the corbinrusswin.com website. It is very interesting that their company was started in 1839. That's almost 200 years ago. But there's been a lot of mergers and acquisitions and everything, so now that's how it became the Corbin Russwin brand. And here is a modern look at a lock that is similar to the one that I'm showing you today. It's called a unit lock, and you can see how similar it is to the one that's built 100 years ago. If you want some more history, go to corbinrusswin.com. And the last patent says 1900. The first one was 1899. Handles actually pull back the latch. The knobs pull back the latch, unless this little ring is twisted here. And then, did you see that moved that little piece right there? So that the inside is still moving, but the outside is rigid. You can also lock the deadbolt with the thumb piece here. Okay, so here is one of the screws that holds the knob together, I'm assuming. And it goes, I was amazed that I got this out without stripping it and breaking it. Wow, cross my fingers for the other one. They are actually staked in. They staked it on each side to hold it in there. So it held it in there for over 100 years probably. So I made a scratch in here for the bottom of the keyway. A little groove in there for the cylinder. And there's the lock cylinder. So let's make a key for it. It looks like the cylinder comes apart, or the cylinder is held in with a set screw that goes the whole way through the back of the cylinder. And I did put a scratch on for the bottom of the cylinder, so I get it back together right and easily. So I'm going to attempt to get that roll pin out now. The other option would be to take the springs cap off. That's not generally very fun either. So either of these is not very fun, but let's see what happens. The roll pin did come out. Lock cylinder ready to be shimmed open. And the tailpiece, you can see, is also round, and it was on there nice and tight. It's amazing how when things are made really well, machined perfectly, they'll come apart even after 100 years. The lock cylinder is shimmed open quite easily. I'm surprised it has 5 pins. I thought it was short enough that it would have only been 4. So I'm gonna be surprised also if it's the same spacing as a current Corbin Russwin, which I'm thinking that is what this lock evolved into. Who knows what company it was, if there was even a company that was making this masterpiece in the 1900s. So let me get the pins out, we'll take a look at them. So here are the pins. It uses a ball bearing in the bottom that rides on the key, and then the pin above it. So it's like a top pin. And then of course you have the top pin and spring above that, which is still inside the cylinder. Standard follower worked for the core, which was amazing too. So the ball bearing is 104 thousandths. So the pin above it would be added to that to get the depth of the cut. Should be probably a lot of trial and error on this one until I get the first one done. So here the key is fitted. You can see the pins are level across the top, but I am gonna have to shave the bottom of the key off. Probably 5 or 10 thousandths because it's sticking out the bottom of the cylinder. So that's a small price to pay for having a key that slides in. So here is how the lock works. The outside handle is open now. You can lock it by twisting this little collar. So that outside handle is locked. Still works from the inside. The deadbolt can be locked by turning this little thumb piece over here. Still works from the inside, and of course it's rigid from the outside still. So the key goes in here and turns counterclockwise to pull the bolt back, and then turn it, continue turning, and it will pull the latch back to let you in, but it does not unlock the knob until you turn this again. So that's how this lock functions. And you can lock it as well with the key. Lock the deadbolt from the outside. So here is the lock back on the door. And the interesting thing about this too is that the hardware in the rest of the house matches that too. Let's see, here's a doorbell. Interesting. And then even the pocket doors have hardware like this. It has an old skeleton key and a little button here to pop out the door handle. So it's pretty cool.